Here's a quick tutorial on how to use the MakerBot Desktop software. First thing you have to do, because you have a Replicator 2X, is you'll have to download the older software. I'm not sure if you have that or not, but right up here at the top, here is the link that will get you there. So once you do, you're going to click this one right here, Windows 7, 8.1, and 10, the 64-bit version. Let it download and install. It's a pretty easy install. After it installs, you'll open it up into this page right here where it says sign in or create an account. You really don't need to do that. You can just go to prepare. You'll want to go down here to where it says select type of device and select Replicator 2X. Now you have your printer properties up. So at this point, all you really need to do is add the file. So here's add file. And then you're going to go and you'll find the STL that you downloaded. So here's some that we've done in the past. Here's a dragon. So after I double click that, it'll import that for me. And if I hold my left click and move it around, I can rotate the screen like this. If I also can do that with my right mouse button. Here's a scale, so I can scale the object down. First I would need to click on it though. And then you can see I can edit those dimensions and shrink it or make it bigger if I need to. Here's our preview button, so we can kind of see everything that we need. When I get it done, I would go to export print file right up here at the top, and I'm going to give it a name, and I'm just going to pay attention to where I save it. Most of the time, if I insert the SD card, it'll show up and I can just save it straight to the SD card, and that'll run it to the printer. So this is the slicer that will take an STL file and turn it into a G-code file. We can also go here to settings, and this is a little more advanced, but we can go to settings and we can take a look at some of these things. So if we realize, hey, I need supports for this, this part I pulled in actually has some supports built in already, but if I needed extra support, I could just click the support button and it would build those in. The other option here is for a raft, and I usually only will use a raft if the part is really skinny on the bottom. So like it's a simple dowel rod, really small and narrow, I would put a raft on it. For something like this, I don't really need a raft, but you may find that you do. It just depends. A lot of time that has to do with the amount of glue you put down and everything else. So I usually uncheck that. And then over here I need to decide what material do I have. Do I have ABS? Do I have PLA? If I have PLA, that's going to change these temperatures a little bit. If I have ABS, which looks like the default, the temperatures here are about right, 230. ABS will generally run well from 225 to about 240. And the bed temp needs to be at least 100. I don't know that it needs to be 110. I usually would run my ABS around 100 to probably 105. 230 is pretty good on the temperature. If it is PLA, and you can look at the filament, and usually on the roll it'll tell you if it's ABS or PLA. If it is PLA, I would drop that down to 205. 205 here, and the bed temperature on that needs to be around 65. Anywhere between 55 and 70 really for the platform. And that needs to be PLA. You need to adjust those up here. So it really depends on the type of filament you're using. So there's PLA. And then back to ABS, if I wanted to choose ABS, I'd probably bump these up to about, let's go 230 on each of these. And remember that platform type needs to be around 100, 105. Probably pretty good. And I just hit OK. Those settings are really important before I export. Before I export, I want to make sure I have the temperature settings correct. And then I just hit export again. I can then take that to the printer and everything should work fine.